Carl and Brendan here from Games, Brains, and Head-Banging Life, doing a little video for you where we're just going to be talking Avatar. Yes, Avatar, the heavy metal band.
Not the last Airbender.
Yes, not that. No, not the Shyamalan movie or the comics or the animated series. Is it comics? I'm not sure. Anyway, distracted me completely.
I did that on purpose because whenever you Google Avatar for anything you want to find out, it's like you have to go through 75,000 pages of forums about Avatar, The Last Airbender.
It is well loved and very popular, but there you go. I mean, I'm not going to be doing much talking in this one because I haven't seen the streams and I haven't reviewed them. Brendan has. It is, of course, Avatar's Age, or Avatar Ages, the 4 ages of Avatar. Please do go check out the written reviews on the site. All 4 streams were reviewed, and they are incredible, written by Brendan. They go into so much detail, and literally, if you will want to see those streams because of that, I actually was regretted not watching 1 or 2, but well, there you go. So you watched all 4 streams over 4 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yes, it was 4 weeks over what they self-marketed themselves as the month of Avatar-uary.
Yeah, that's a mouthful, isn't it?
It is. I mean, to be fair, they were very aware of that. Johannes laughs every time he says it. I think he says, welcome to Avatar-uary. As you can see, we are the kings of marketing.
Yes, absolutely. But what I think I noticed most in your stream reviews was just like the parts I enjoyed reading more were less about the song breakdown, more the shit that was going on around it. So I guess basically, as much as you can remember or you've got detail of, talk us through the 4 events.
Everything. Everything. Well, I mean, I want to give a little bit of a backdrop on this first so that people don't believe that I went into these shows being like a 10-year-long, lifelong Avatar fan with rose-tinted glasses on or anything like that. Okay, I've never seen Avatar live. I know you have. I know that they're a phenomenal live band. I think I've actually only ever seen Avatar live via stream. The first one being the EMEA back in August, the European Metal Festival Alliance, EMFA. Which I believe was a pre-recorded from their Poland Rocks headline slot from a year or so prior.
The one with the castle, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Alcatraz, it might be.
Oh, that was it, yeah, Alcatraz.
Yeah, it might be Alcatraz, but yeah. And you know, we watched them after a long day of listening to music and drinking, and I became a fan. I enjoyed them. I enjoyed 2 or 3 songs, and they were completely different to what I had made an assumption of about Avatar, in that I'd seen how they dressed and thought, this isn't for me.
Fair dues.
Bit of makeup, a few outfits, all looks a bit too synchronized and clean.
I thought the same too.
And I was wrong. I am. We've said this on many videos before, and I will happily say it again now. There is nothing better in the world than being wrong about a band, because what it then does is open up a chapter of music to you that you didn't have previously. And the only thing that even comes close to being better than that is when it's not a band's first album. And in this case, it's their most recent album, Hunter Gatherer, which came out last year, which you reviewed. Yeah. And you know, to get into a band at that stage, what that basically means is that I've got 7 albums to get into here, and that's fucking great. So that's really where I came into Avatar. You know, I became an Avatar fan in 2020. You know, so very, very short time ago. But I would say that at the back end of the year, they became pretty close to an obsession. You know, I would say that I went a month at least where I listened to nothing but Avatar. I was learning the songs, I was getting into it, I was going back album, playing an album through, or I love them 3, playing it again, oh no, I love the other 3, and worked my way all the way back, and it took me months. And even today, only music I've listened to today so far is Avatar.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, and that's where it's grown. You know, I was asked this question 2 nights ago, and I couldn't answer it, which was, who's your favorite band, Machine Head or Avatar?
Ooh, really?
And I got really stuck. Because you know, you have to try and do this over the whole of discographies. Obviously, historically, it would always be Machine Head, but then you go, right, well, currently it probably wouldn't be. It'd be Avatar.
Right, which is fair.
You know, so it was a difficult one, but it's weird that if you would have asked me that same question 6 months ago, Avatar didn't even come into the equation. There was no Avatar in my any level of my band enjoyment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's how quickly it's kind of gone up through the ranks for me. And the great thing about Avatar, and this does kind of tie in obviously to the stream, so I don't just ramble on about them forever and tell everyone how wonderful they are and how in love I am, is that I find them immensely accessible, so much so that not only have I become a huge fan of them, they are also the first band I can honestly say that my 9-year-old daughter has taken properly and claims to be her favorite band.
Right.
Now, kids do this. Yeah, go on.
The question I want to ask you then about that is because what often happens, or what people might think is that, well, you're her father. If you're telling her how great that band is, she's going to love it anyway. Why is that different for Rose?
Well, let me tell you. You're right, absolutely. I push my music onto her. Of course I do. I don't push it, but I play it, and then she listens to it, and a lot of times she likes it. And there have been phases where she has told me while she sleeps we're her favorite band. There have been phases where Sabaton were her favorite band. However, with Avatar, it's been different in that, first of all, they are the first official poster of her own choice that she has up on her wall.
Awesome.
Her choice. I got some merch from them. They sent a poster in it that was signed, and she begged for it.
What poster? What does it look like?
It's all their faces just side by side, and it's all signed, hand signed by the band when I bought some merch.
Very nice.
And I was desperately wanted that for myself, but she was desperate for it. And I asked her where she put it, and then I went into her room that night and she stuck it above her bed. Then secondly, the other reason being is that it was actually, although I was planning to see them anyway, she actually asked for her birthday present if she could have a ticket to the stream.
Wow.
Yeah, so we talked about it, that was happening, because I was thinking of getting it for myself, but she asked if she could have a ticket for it. So she was asked at 9 what she wanted for her birthday.
Yeah.
And the only thing she had on her list was a ticket to see the Avatar stream. That was it. No dolls, no toys, no nothing like that. That's all she wanted. And that's where it was different this time around. It wasn't me suggesting things to her. It was her asking for them. Since then, she's asked me to, it's costing me a fucking fortune at the moment, if I could get her the Avatar country flag that they sell in their merch, because she wants that. I also have seen, because I monitor her texting and stuff activity to her friends her age, it's very restricted. It's not like an open phone. And I have seen that she has sent 3 different links to Avatar videos to her 9-year-old friend Evie, who constantly tells her that she's not interested.
Right,
and she keeps going, we'll try this one, then. And that's what's different.
Yeah.
This isn't me pushing it this time. This is her pushing me to a degree. Dad, can I have a t-shirt? Dad, can I have that flag? Dad, I've been on their website and I've seen this. Can I have that? Cool. Oh, sorry. And then I'll have to show you this at some point because it's fucking phenomenal. And then the extra part of her birthday present that we got her is we paid for a cameo from Johannes to say happy birthday to her. And if you want to see how much Rose loves Avatar, and Johannes especially, is her face watching Johannes say hi Rose and singing happy birthday to her, and then her crying like mad at the end of it.
Happy birthday, dear Rose. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, so she was I guess that's the difference. It wasn't me going, oh, hey, Rose, look, it's Johannes. So, Rose, why aren't you paying attention? This was the opposite. This was her crying when he said her name, crying when I told her that he was married.
Did you tell her I've spoken to him twice?
She's watched both the video, the interviews that we've done. She's watched, because I monitor everything she does. She has like restricted access to a lot of things. Like she has restricted access to YouTube and stuff like that. Basically, the way I restrict it, I let her use my account, and that way I can see everything that she touches. And then
9 years old, dude.
Yeah, it's better to educate them in how to use it because they need to know, and what not to do, than to tell them they're not allowed, because that doesn't work. But yeah, so and I can see things like, for example, I get a report from Microsoft that tells me what things she searched for on her laptop. So because she in theory should only be using it for schoolwork and stuff, and it will tell me the top 5 searches in Bing or in Edge. Sorry, I think it is now. And I will see things come through where it's Avatar ages, Johannes, all spelt wrong. Johannes, an extra attempt at spelling, Johannes pictures. And these are the things I'm seeing without me pushing, like in the background. And that's where I know this is the first proper one. This is her choice and her latching on. And that kind of, it leads into, I guess, the accessibility of them, because then what I've got, like you said, is that Bond thing. You know, we've got something that we're both into. My missus also thinks they're fantastic. And it's become a bit of a family band, I guess, to a degree. So all three of us watched all 4 streams together. And we're blown away musically. That is a huge part of it. You know, this isn't all gimmicky, but we're just blown away really in the open and honest approach they took to everything, and also the way they tried to include like just little elements in it that were special. You know, they didn't have to do it. They could have just said, here's a stream, it's starting here, we've played in music, we'll do it as well as we always do, and we'll put a bit of a show on, and that's it. But you know, you bought a ticket, you were asked to send a 2-second video of yourself chanting Avatar, and all of those videos were combined into a 5-minute long video. So 5 minutes before the show came on, there were fans from all over the world, like literally everywhere, of all ages, of all genders. Well, most genders, there's so fucking many, I don't know, loads of genders, and all chanting Avatar before the band come on. Every show had different snippets. So, you know, they had a multi-stage setup where they were changing outfit between songs. Before it started, they had an open forum, and this was the nicest thing I've ever seen, a chat box open in a stream, and it was nothing but fucking lovely. Every single person excited, welcoming, hey, you know, hey, I'm from here, everyone saying hi, welcome, you know, welcome to the Avatar family. It was absolutely lovely, and I do mean global. I'm talking about people from, you know, somebody like people coming on there from Mexico, from China, from you know, the UK, from all over Europe, from America, States, Canada, Brazil, you know, literally Australia, all time zones, all everything, all tuned in, all talking to each other politely, not a single negative comment, no trolling. You know, even just the countdown comes on, and rather than it just be a countdown, they've re-recorded ambient versions of all the songs from Hunter Gatherer to play, like almost like kind of waiting room piano music. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of what it was designed to be, like the sort of stuff you might get on hold while you're waiting.
Okay.
You know, and you're like, this is the fucking countdown. Do you know what I mean? We haven't even got to anything to do with the band yet. You know, and obviously the 4 sets, four ages of Avatar, and it works backwards. You know, so we had the age of.
Was odd, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there was a little bit of me that thought it too, but I think partly as well is like you have to think about how tough this would have been for them as a band to do such songs, and especially as they left a lot of it down to fan voted. So they didn't know necessarily what they were going to be playing until just before the beginning of January. And it looks like the fans, I mean, Johannes was quite open in it, is that he felt like the fans had purposely attempted to challenge them, and they were playing songs that they'd never done live, or they songs that they had maybe not played for 15 years. And now they've got show 7 days, show 7 days, show 7 days, show. All the different stage setup, all the work that has to be done in between that, as well as relearning the songs, rehearsing. And you know what I mean? It's a huge task, isn't it? It's a massive task. When you say, oh, we did 4 streaming events, it sounds like nothing.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it like that. Every single moment of every single show, it felt had been meticulously crafted. And even just down to the fact that, you know, you had 3 or 4 different stages side by side, and everything kind of told a bit of a story. You know, they did Black Waltz, for example. It's hilarious and sad and brilliant. And at the beginning of that, Johannes is stumbling through, like, you know, a demented clown through a stage on his own, holding all these red balloons. And as he gets further in, he's losing them one by one. They put so much effort and emotion into it. I mean, we are talking like shit. Like we were concerned at points where Johannes at one point is rolling around on the floor, screaming into his mic. Even Kungan, the guitarist, was looking at him like, dude, you're right. and one by one the balloons were popping. He drinks out of like a petrol canister. You know, one show they had a camera on that, so you know everything was covered. It was immense detail. And obviously they did Dreams, which was the most recent stuff, the most it was probably, it would have been the most familiar to me at the time, you know, and now I'd say
out of the country, that thing.
Mostly it was actually a Hunter Gatherer in full. So they played the album back to back, and then they played a few hits. That was the Dreams stuff. So you know, we got to see, say, Gun, for example, done immensely beautifully, which was just Johannes at a piano, just him playing the piano and singing. for the whole of Gun. Then they did, I think, it was Illusions was next, and Illusions was Avatar Country and Hail the Apocalypse.
Right.
I might be getting these mixed up. When did they come in? No, it's sorry, Avatar Country and Feathers and Flesh, I think is what it is. Oh, whatever it was anyway. There was a combination of 2 albums pretty much all the way through. Yeah. And they did, they did slightly different takes on some of their songs. Like, so for example, when they were doing the Feathers and Flesh stuff, the first 2 songs on that, which are really kind of a combination of a slow song into a fast one, but they're connected, which is Regret into House of Eternal Hunt, which are also my 2 favorite Avatar songs, or my 1 favorite because I combine them every time.
Yeah.
And that, for example, to give you an idea of how that was, that starts off fading in, and it's just Johannes with his hair all down over a piano, no one else around. And he plays the whole first half of that song. And then as it kicks in to guitar driven, before it gets to bridge into House of Eternal Hunt, he gets up, picks up his cane and his hat, kind of brushes the hair back, walks through a door into another stage where all the band are, who then just kick into the guitars, and then he comes running through the middle of it, like sliding in on his knees, screaming the first line off. And you're just like, fucking hell. The effort is amazing, but also the performance was amazing. The sound was brilliant. And then, and the last, so we did Memories, and then Memories was the most recent show. There was also Illusions in the middle of that. I can't remember which way around they kind of went.
Well, it's been 4 weeks of Avatar.
Yeah. So, and in Memories, this was obviously going back to the beginning. I would imagine as a band, it's probably the main reason that you left Memories to last is that you had the most time to kind of brush up on stuff. And even on this, they stripped back, because back in them days they didn't have makeup, didn't have outfits, so they didn't have any makeup or outfits on. One of the stages they had changed into a rehearsal room. So it looked like a rehearsal room. It had posters on the wall. It had a pizza box. At one point, Johannes picks it up during a guitar solo and it's empty. And he's like shouting at the drummer because the pizza's been eaten. And like every little detail you can imagine, And then, and then obviously in the build up to that, they'd managed to get hold of, they'd asked fans to provide pictures and stuff from the past, their memories.
When they saw them back in the day,
like just their memories, so they could put them into a collage. And I think at some point in that, somebody happened to have footage of the first time they'd ever played. The first time they'd ever taken to stage. So they had a different bassist and guitarist at the time, put them up on it, and it was fucking phone footage from like 20 years ago, man. It was terrible. But it was you couldn't hear a thing. The only thing is they did 3 songs. One of them was their own song, and then one was a cover of an In Flames song, Clayman.
Oh,
and
Clayman, all right.
Yeah, and one was Rain in Blood by Slayer, and that was their set.
Wow.
But it was just like, oh, wow, okay, this is kind of cool. And then it did another little snippet, which was their second show and then their third show of one song. And you could still see the progression. Then halfway through the album, they put up this collage of all of them, little videos and little snippets, also their own stuff. It wasn't all fan sent, of them like literally blonde haired Johannes, all looking like teenagers, hanging out like in sleeping bags on a mate's floor because they're doing a gig that night. And it was beautiful. It was really open and welcoming, and it made you feel a part of it. And like for me, for the whole of January, I've had something every week to look forward to. I spoke to somebody about this the other day, and it was like, January, they were saying about how January is really a tough month for them. They struggled through January. And I agree. A lot of people do. And I didn't at any point, because every week I had an Avatar show, every single week.
See, I wondered, after maybe the second, particularly after Rose's birthday had gone by, I knew you were going to do them because you'd told me. But I was wondering, like, he must be, like, by the third one, I was like, you must be like, this is getting a bit of a chore. I thought, like, you must be thinking that.
Every moment of every show was perfection, and the excitement building up to them was the closest I've had to building up to a gig in a long time. There was never a moment where we even considered not watching, like, because the stream's available for 3 days after. Or maybe I'll just watch it through tomorrow morning quick and take the notes I need.
Fair enough.
Wasn't a second of it. To give an example of like how important these shows were, like for us, the 4th show, the most recent show, Memories, I went into that only probably knowing one song from the 3 albums they were covering.
Yeah.
Rose knew none, Gemma knew none. And I did have in my head thinking like, oh, this might be a bit difficult for all of us, you know, not knowing anything. And also this is going back to, it's more heavy. It's no makeup, it's less showmanship, you know, because they tried to do everything so perfectly that even when they were doing the rehearsal studio stuff, they didn't even use the petrol canister for drinking out of, because he didn't have it then. So he was drinking out of bottles of waters.
Right.
When they got to doing the third album, Avatar, that's where it came out. So then he had that now. Everything was planned so meticulously. But, you know, when you're going into it and you're thinking, well, I'm going to watch a band, I like the band, but I'm not going to know a single fucking song they play. How is this going to go down? And we were up dancing, laughing. We loved every minute of it. You know, absolutely fantastic. And while sitting there, you know, I just, at one point, Rose grabbed the phone and I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, I haven't downloaded these 3 albums. I need to quickly download these 3 albums, like through Apple Music. And it was like, and you know what I mean? And it's just like, yeah, it was special. But it was special because they are amazing and they put in effort and they were very open and honest and emotional. And when Johannes spoke, he spoke about how they were struggling.
Yeah.
How this has been, you know, how grateful they were that everyone was there, but also how this has been as much for them in a way as it has been for us. They needed something, you know, they've been struggling too. You know, this is odd and they hate it and they wanted stats, even though it's not real, they needed to feel some sort of connection. You know, and it feels like they're speaking to you because you feel it too.
I hope they have felt it. Like, I hope they have come away not just proud, but like happy with what occurred.
I think they have, because they put so much effort into it. Like, you know, I guaranteed within 5 minutes of them coming off stage, next thing that they do on social media is a genuine footage of them. And they quickly thank everybody, you know, like from behind the scenes, like, which is sweating and, you know, talking about like, shit, that was really fucking hard. You know, I messed up 3 times and all this sort of stuff, you know. So
yeah,
but they give you this kind of like feeling of honesty about them. I don't at any point doubt that Johannes means what he's saying.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's just like, it was, I don't know, there were just things that you just sit there mesmerized by him and the band, but by him and his actions, from the quirky, slightly, you know, should we be concerned about your mental condition side of it?
He is an incredible showman.
to the, you know, suddenly all the band disappear. And I think the common line at the moment in the house is like Rose will just continuously shout at me, "Get in line, Johannes," because they just before he did the song "Get in Line," he gave a speech which genuinely had us all concerned, where what he was talking about coronavirus and about being told what to do and about how much he struggled with it.
Yep.
You know, everywhere he goes, it's Johannes, you can't do this. Johannes, you can't talk to that person. Johannes, you can't touch that. Johannes, clean your hands. Johannes, and he went on and on and on, and then it went from that into, that's all they keep telling me, to get in line, Johannes, get in line, Johannes. And he was bent over, punching himself in the head, going, "Get in line, Johannes, get in line, Johannes." Yeah. And then it went from that into the song "Get in Line." And it was just like, wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, you know, anyone who doesn't know Avatar, anything you think about them, you're probably wrong. And all you have to do is don't watch a video, don't listen to a recording, watch 3 minutes or 30 seconds of a live snippet on YouTube of them, and see the effort and energy and enthusiasm and great music that backs it up. And we all quickly do what I did and realize that we've been wrong and I've been missing out for 15 years. And I'm going to get a big fucking A tattooed on my forehead.
Yeah, I mean, the important thing is when you finally get the opportunity, is you obviously have to see this band properly live.
Absolutely, yeah, I can't wait. But you know, the biggest fear I have is if they're at a show that won't allow children to attend. Ooh. Because I can guarantee you 100% there is no way in the world I will ever be able to go to an Avatar show without Rose. Obviously, if I have to, but she would be devastated.
Yeah, I think of the 2 times I've seen them, one obviously support at Brixton, the other time is a headline show at Shepherd's Bush Empire, and neither of them were kids.
No, but they do both have an upstairs.
There is that,
you know, so it might be that you could get in there with an under 14 if they're seated with an adult upstairs.
Yeah, it's just the age thing, isn't it? It's just the age restriction. So yeah, I mean, fingers crossed on that one. And I think, yeah, we better stop it there. Otherwise, we'll be here for the next hour while you're talking about how much you want to.
If you kind of end it with, like, if anyone wants to kind of have a snippet of what I've seen, the other thing that they've done after every single show is they've taken one song from that show and released it as an official video on their YouTube channel.
They have, true. I also suspect that this series of shows will surely be available in the future in some format, be it Blu-ray or something like that.
There's been very, very heavy demand on the Avatar country fan sites.
Yep.
And on their social media that they should either release these as like a double Blu-ray, but also as live recordings, as double vinyl would be ideal. 4 vinyls, 1 doing each age.
That is quite sexy, isn't it? That is quite sexy.
Yeah, I'd be all over that.
If you watch the streams and you have somehow a different opinion, would love to hear it. But likely you loved it as much as Brendan did. Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?